Have you ever wondered how the fees charged by third-party app stores affect the gaming industry? This is a question that's been circling around the gaming community for a while now, and today we're going to dive into it. Let's start by understanding what these fees are all about. When we purchase a game or an in-app feature from an app store, a certain percentage of our payment doesn't go to the game developers. Instead, it goes to the app store. This is what we call the app store fee, and it's usually around 30%. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly 1/3 of the revenue from every purchase made on the App Store goes to the App Store itself, not the creators of the game. So how does this affect the gaming industry? Well, for one, it has a significant impact on the profits of game developers. When 30% of their revenue is siphoned off by app stores, it leaves them with a smaller slice of the pie. This could mean reduced budgets for game development, leading to fewer updates, less innovation, or even the cancellation of promising games that can sustain the financial hit. But it's not just the game developers who feel the pinch. These app store fees also indirectly affect us, the consumers. To make up for the lost revenue, game developers might have to increase the cost of their games or in-game purchases. This could make gaming a more expensive hobby for many of us, and potentially hinder the accessibility of games to a wider audience. Moreover, the impact of these fees extends beyond the immediate gaming industry. They can also influence the decisions of tech giants, leading to shifts in the broader tech landscape. For instance, these fees could encourage companies to create their own app stores, further fragmenting the app ecosystem and making it more complex for consumers to navigate. As we can see, the fees charged by third-party app stores have a significant impact on the gaming industry. They shape the profits of game developers, the cost of gaming for consumers, and even the decisions of tech giants. And with the increasing popularity of mobile gaming, their impact is only set to grow in the future. Recently, the Xbox president made a statement concerning this issue. Now, this isn't a light statement to brush aside. The Xbox president, a key player in the gaming industry, has voiced his opinion, asserting that Apple's third-party app store fees are indeed a step in the wrong direction. He argues that these fees pose a hindrance to competition and innovation in the gaming landscape. Imagine a world where developers are burdened with hefty fees, a world where creativity and innovation are stifled due to financial constraints. This is the reality he fears, a reality where Apple's third-party app store fees could potentially shape the future of the gaming industry, and not for the better. He posits that these fees could deter small developers from bringing forth their unique creations, thus limiting the diversity of games available to players. These fees might also force developers to increase the price of their games, making them less accessible to a broad range of audiences. The Xbox president's statement is a clarion call for change. It's a call to create a more inclusive and equitable gaming ecosystem where developers, regardless of their size, can thrive and deliver exciting and diverse gaming experiences to players worldwide. Furthermore, he implies that these fees could impact the gaming industry's dynamics. If developers are compelled to pay substantial app store fees, they might be inclined to side with platforms that don't impose such charges, thereby disrupting the current balance in the gaming industry. His statement also raises pertinent questions about the role of tech giants like Apple in shaping the gaming industry's future. Can these companies maintain their stranglehold on the market? Or will the push for more competition and fairness pave the way for new players to emerge? This statement from the Xbox president has certainly stirred up some interesting discussions. It has opened up a conversation about the future of the gaming industry and the role that app store fees play in it. It's a conversation that's only just beginning, and the outcomes are sure to shape the trajectory of the gaming world in the years to come. But how did we get here? What events led to the Xbox president's statement? Let's step back in time and trace the journey that led us to this moment. The introduction of third-party app store fees was a significant turning point. This was when tech giants like Apple and Google started charging developers a percentage of their earnings for the privilege of being hosted on their platforms. This was seen by many as a step forward, as it provided a streamlined marketplace for users to access a variety of applications. However, not everyone was thrilled about this development, especially those in the gaming industry. In February of 2022, Microsoft announced 11 new principles for its app stores. These principles aim to promote competition and stay ahead of potential regulations. The principles included treating apps equally, allowing developers to use their own payment processors, and not ranking Microsoft's own programs over others. This move was in direct contrast to the practices of other app stores and sparked a conversation about fairness and competition in the digital marketplace. In the same year, Microsoft sought regulatory approval for its $68.7 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard, a major player in the gaming industry. This acquisition was seen as a strategic move by Microsoft to expand into gaming subscriptions, a largely untapped market at the time. However, the acquisition was met with opposition from regulators worldwide, adding another layer of complexity to the unfolding story. Fast forward to November of 2022, Elon Musk, the new owner of Twitter, claimed that Apple threatened to remove Twitter from its App Store due to issues with its moderation policies. This was after Musk publicly criticized Apple for its App Store fees, which he referred to as a secret 30% tax on the internet. This incident further highlighted the growing tension between tech giants and app developers, bringing the issue of third-party App Store fees to the forefront. In the midst of these events, the Xbox president made his statement, criticizing Apple's third-party App Store fees as a step in the wrong direction. His words echoed the sentiments of many in the gaming industry who felt that these fees were stifling competition and innovation. These events have set the stage for the current debate over third-party App Store fees. As we move forward, it will be interesting to see how this story continues to unfold. Will there be changes to the way app stores operate? Only time will tell. So, what have we learned from all of this? We've unpacked a lot in this discussion, so let's take a moment to distill the main points. We started by looking at the impact of third-party App Store fees on the gaming industry. We saw how these charges, sometimes described as a secret tax, can eat into the profits of developers and publishers. We also learned how these fees can potentially stifle competition, as smaller developers may struggle with the financial burden. Then, we delved into the Xbox president's statement. He expressed concerns about Apple's third-party App Store fees, calling them a step in the wrong direction. The Xbox president's perspective highlights Microsoft's stance on promoting competition and equality among apps, principles that have been recently reflected in Microsoft's own App Store policies. We also traced the timeline of events leading up to this statement. From the ongoing legal battles involving Apple and Epic Games to Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard, we traced a series of significant events that have brought the issue of App Store fees into sharp focus. In all of this, we also touched on the proposed Open App Markets Act, a piece of legislation that could quite possibly change the landscape of app stores and their revenue models. Microsoft's support for this act, while facing criticism from competitors, underlines its commitment to a more equitable digital marketplace. In a broader context, the discussion around App Store fees raises questions about the future of the gaming industry and tech companies' roles within it. How will these fees affect the development of new games? How will they impact the relationships between tech giants, developers, and gamers? These are questions that the industry will need to address moving forward. As we can see, the issue of third-party App Store fees is a complex one with far-reaching implications for the gaming industry. As we wrap up, let's consider the future of the gaming industry in light of these issues. With the ongoing debates around third-party App Store fees, the landscape of gaming could potentially face dramatic shifts, Should these fees be reduced or even eliminated, we may see a surge of innovation and competition as more developers find it financially feasible to bring their creations to the market. On the flip side, the absence of these fees could also lead to challenges. App stores, after all, provide a platform for these games to reach users. Without the revenue from these fees, they might need to find alternative ways to maintain and improve their services, which could lead to unforeseen consequences. Moreover, the impact of these changes won't be confined to the gaming industry alone. As we've seen with Microsoft's acquisition of Activision and Elon Musk's critique of Apple's App Store fees, these issues resonate across the tech world, influencing decisions and shaping strategies of tech giants. Lastly, let's not forget the gamers themselves. They are, after all, the lifeblood of this industry. Their experience, their satisfaction, is ultimately what drives the success of any game. A change in the fee structure could transform the kind of games they have access to and the way they engage with them. No matter what happens, it's clear that the issue of third-party app store fees will continue to play a significant role in the gaming industry.